Welcome to a conversation with a community leader. I'm your host, Cary Bozeman, and I'm the former mayor of Bellevue, Washington, and Bremerton, Washington. And I'm currently a Port of Bremerton commissioner. And my guest today is Denise Landis, right, Denise?
Correct.
Welcome
Thank
to
you.
a conversation with a community leader. Denise is the executive director, is that
Correct.
your title?
Yes.
Of the Bremerton YMCA, of which I've been a member on and off over the years, and my wife's a member. So we're going to have a fun conversation about the YMCA, which has been in Bremerton a long time. It used to, it was part of the military for a long time.
Yes.
It was the old Bremerton military base. So it's been a big part of the community for a long time. But before we talk about the why, what about you, Denise? Where are you from? What brought you here? How'd you get involved with this kind of work?
Definitely. Excellent.
Where'd you grow up?
Yeah, I grew up in Tacoma.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I grew up in Tacoma. Lived in Tacoma most of my life, at least my growing up life. And
Where'd you go to high school?
went to Stadium High School.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I went to high school in a castle.
Yeah, that's
which is pretty amazing.
That might be the most beautiful high school building in the country.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went to Stadium High School, went to Western Washington University, so up in Bellingham.
Yeah.
I started with the Y as a volunteer, all because one of my
That's
friends.
not unusual.
Yeah, one of my friends asked me to go help with an adapted aquatics program at the Morgan Family Y located in Tacoma. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, just worked with kids with disabilities, and that eventually turned into a part-time job, which turned into staying with the Y. And somewhere along the way, I got bit by a YMCA bug, and I have been with the Y since. I
So how
have
many years?
33 years with
Wow.
the Y. 33.
33.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, you don't look old enough to be with a Y.
Oh, you're too
33.
kind.
Wow.
Yeah, so I've been with the Y for 33
Well, I
years.
worked for the Boys and Girls Club of America for 30 years.
Okay,
And
see?
I thought that was a pretty lengthy career. Wow.
Yeah, it's a long time. Still probably have about 10 years left. And
okay, so you grew up in Tacoma.
Yep, I've
you
worked
kinda
with
grew
five
up
or
a YMCA person.
yeah, I worked with 5 or 6 different associations,
Uh-huh,
from Yakima to Alaska to Olympia,
right.
and then back into Morgan. And what brought me up to Kitsap County was an opportunity to come back into this association of YMCA Person Kitsap counties. And so I was able to come back.
What's the association again?
Is YMCA of Person Kitsap counties.
Uh-huh.
And so I was able
How
to
many YMCAs are there in Kitsap?
There are 9 centers, so 9
There are
facilities.
9 centers in Kitsap County?
Oh, in Kitsap County, there are 2.
There are 2, yeah.
Yeah,
This
there's
in
Hazelwood.
Silverdale?
Yep, Hazelwood and
Okay,
Bremerton.
we'll talk more about that.
Okay.
What's the mission of the YMCA? I know it's got a variety of missions. What is the mission?
So the black
How
and
do you
white
describe
mission
what a YMCA is?
is to put Christian principles into practice through programs that build a healthy spirit, mind, and body for all.
Oh, you've been asked that before, yeah.
I've known that for so long,
Yeah.
right? But it's really about ensuring access. It's removing financial barriers. It's not turning people away. It's meeting people where they're at and creating a space where people can belong and see people who are like them in a space and build community. If COVID taught us anything, is how important community is. And there's a lot of people that went to the Y for that community, for that social. And then COVID happened and we go into lockdown. That social and that interaction is now removed.
And you guys closed down during COVID, didn't you?
We did, just like a lot of other people.
How long were you closed?
Oh my goodness. We were closed from March to, we reopened beginning of August, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah.
And when you first reopened, did people wear masks in, or did?
Yeah,
Yeah. Right.
just like everywhere. Masks were required still. We had to make reservations to do lap swimming. Only
Right.
6 people in a lap pool if there were 6 lanes
It
available.
was hard, right?
Yeah, very hard, and hard for the community, right?
You know, none of us have ever been through this before.
Never. But what it did do is it gave people hope, and it gave people a place for them to start getting back into their routine and starting to remove some barriers.
So let's talk about the Y. There's Ys all over the country,
Correct.
but this is part of a Y that's corporately is managed out of Tacoma, right? The
Correct.
Bremerton YMCA. It
Correct.
used to be independent,
Correct.
didn't
It
it?
used to be an Armed Services YMCA.
Uh-huh.
So it was by the Armed Services Y, and it was located actually downtown Bremerton
I
originally,
know, yeah.
and then moved up to where it sits today.
Right, which
And
is on
so,
federal land on about a 50-year lease, I think. I know all about the.
yes,
When I was mayor, we used to, because the city owned the pool. We'll talk more about that.
yes.
So you're part of what's the organization called?
Which organization?
Well,
The
it's
YMCA?
YMCA's of Pierce and
Kitsap
County.
counties?
That's what it's called. Okay.
Yes.
And there's 9 of those.
There's 9 centers between Pierce and Kitsap counties, and then 2 camps. One's a resident camp, so Camp Seymour, and then Lake Helena.
Okay. So they call them centers.
Yes.
And each center has an executive director.
Correct.
And yeah. So okay, 9 centers, Kitsap and Pierce County. And Kitsap, when Bremerton was the only Y, was kind of an independent entity, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And when the YMCA of Pierce and Kitsap counties was looking to build in Silverdale, and I believe that's when the doors opened to have conversations about how the Armed Services Y or the YMCA in Bremerton could merge into Pierce and Kitsap counties.
So the Bremerton Y and the Silverdale Y are all part of the
YMCA of Pierce and
Tacoma,
Kitsap.
Kitsap, yada, yada organization.
Correct.
Well, the Silverdale Y was a successful venture, obviously. Big building, lots of members, all those kind of things.
Correct.
Kind of a different kind of a club in some ways, right?
It's a different model.
A different model.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a different model, and it's the Bremerton Y is unique, and it's your community Y, and we pull from basically a 5-mile radius.
Yeah, the Bremerton Y is an kind of old-fashioned neighborhood Y,
Yeah.
right?
Correct.
I mean, that's what it's kind of like a Boys and Girls Club in a lot of ways. Most of our Boys and Girls Clubs were kind of neighborhood centric, and where the Silverdale Y is more of a community-wide Y, right? People come from all over, but this is pretty much that's what makes the Bremerton Y. And I don't go up as much as I used to, but I was a regular. Now my wife's a regular.
Yes, she is.
But every day she goes up there. But you meet a lot of people in your neighborhood there.
You do. And you see friendly faces, and you build community. And it's a great place, especially with how our population transitions all the time, with boats coming in and boats coming out, and with the military. It's a place where people can come and set down roots, see people that are like them, build relationships, start to network, and start to build a community. Otherwise, you're just walking by people on the street.
Kind of, before we get into programs, kind of describe the Bremerton facility. What have you got?
Sure. We have probably about 40 pieces of cardio equipment. We have strength, free weights. So we have
Cardio equipment is exercise equipment, right?
Cardio equipment is your treadmills, your ellipticals, your AMTs.
So you got a big area with a lot of exercise machines.
Correct. We have strength training. We have 2 basketball courts.
2 basketball
We have a drop-in zone, so a teen center. And then we have we operate the city pool for the city of Bremerton. So we have a 6-lane pool that has a bulkhead in the middle where we can have a shallow end and a deep end. And then
how big is that building, do you know?
I don't know the square footage off the top of my head.
But don't you have daycare too?
We have child watch.
Child watch.
We do. So when parents or people are there working out, they can drop their kids off and child watch. It is an additional fee, but it's available.
And you have 2 buildings that you use for child watch, right?
We have the annex. We only have the annex, which is where child watch would be. So it's right down from the Y.
Okay. So you got a building with a gymnasium and a swimming pool and workout rooms, and I know you have a weight room.
Correct.
And you have an indoor walking track.
We do.
Which I used to use all the time.
And a racquetball court.
And a racquetball court.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's the old-fashioned YMCA facility.
Yeah, we have everything
Because Y's really centered around swimming pools.
Well, the Y is so much more than just a pool, and you know that.
I know,
Yeah.
but we used to always think of going to the Y and going to swimming.
Learn to swim, yep.
Right? are going to camp at the Y,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
What's the Camp or Kyla, I guess?
Camp or Kyla, I believe, is YMCA of Greater Seattle.
Yeah, when I grew up, I never went, but my brother always went to Camp or Kyla in the summer, which is up on Orcas Island or something like that.
Yeah, I went to Camp Seymour, which is just on the peninsula.
So you got this building. Let's talk about a little bit about the programming the building. What are some of your key programs that you run there?
Some of it we've already talked
You
about.
have things for kids and adults.
We do. We have things for kids and adults. Let's start on the pool side. We have swim lessons, water aerobics, swim team, and just regular lap swimming and open swim. And then
which is probably pretty popular, huh?
Open swim, definitely. Yeah. And lap swimming is as well. Our swim team is 100 plus swimmers on it. And then our swim lessons,
you actually have a swim team?
We have a swim team, which has swimmers that are nationally ranked.
Really? Well, two of the greatest swimmers of all time came out of Bremerton, you know.
Yes.
Tara
Kirksell.
Yeah.
And then Nathan.
Yeah. Stanford grads and went to the Olympics.
Yeah, and Tara's sister, Dana.
Yeah, do they still drop into the Y ones?
Tara's actually on our advisory council.
Oh, good for
her.
her.
Yeah, and so we see her and her dad all the time.
Yeah, they're just great people.
They are wonderful.
Yeah.
I remember her dad.
And I think they started swimming at the Y, didn't they?
Yes.
I think so. Went to the Olympics.
Right, correct. And then we have our third grade swim.
Okay.
So that's the pool side. And then on the land side, we have group exercise classes, pickup basketball, so open gym, your independent workouts. We also have kickstart appointments.
What's a kickstart appointment?
That is an opportunity for you to meet with one of our coaches up to 4 times and establish a routine and a pattern. The hardest part with
you have personal trainer kind of things?
We do offer personal training for an additional fee, but this is something that's with your membership. One of the hardest things when you're starting to get back into working out is establishing that routine, right?
Yeah.
And this allows you to focus on your goals, set SMART goals, and meet with someone so you have some accountability. Our coaches are well trained and they help you along that process.
Don't you have things like yoga?
We have yoga. We have TRX. We have
what? What's
TRX.
TRX? What's
TRX, which is a suspension program. So you basically use your own body weight and sit there.
Was it like stretching or something like that?
Strength building.
Strength building.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then your traditional. We have cycling. We have
in the old days, there used to be I remember mostly men's leagues that would come in and play.
Like men's basketball leagues?
Men's basketball leagues.
We're slowly getting back into adult sports.
That was pretty popular a long time ago.
We're actually bringing, starting a 3-on-3 tournament.
You have kids basketball programs?
We do.
Teams?
Youth basketball league.
Youth basketball league.
And we have a lot of like soccer, and we just started football. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lots of programs.
Lots of programs.
Just, it's an average size facility for a YMCA like that. It's not huge. It's not small. It's got a pool and it's got a nice, I know I've played basketball in the gym many times. It's got a great gym. And it's in the neighborhood. And another thing that's affecting you guys is all the housing that's being built around you. My gosh. So lots of new people.
Oh,
You're a membership organization.
Correct.
Right? How does that work? How much is it? What do you get for your membership, etc.?
So there is a joining fee of $75. It's a one-time fee as long as your membership stays current, and that's for adults. And then your membership is $67. So if it was just you, it'd be $67, and that would give you full facility access not only to Bremerton, but to all of YMCA Pearson-Kitsap counties. In addition, it gives you nationwide
Isn't there a monthly fee, though?
It's $67 a month.
Oh, $67 a month.
Correct.
Okay. Is that for kids and
That would
everybody?
be for one adult. And then you can build your membership as it fits to your family unit. A household is anyone that lives in your household. So it doesn't have to be your traditional family.
Right.
Right.
So you have a fee for a household?
No, you build it.
You build it.
We have a fee that's like one adult, one youth. Then we have a one adult multi-youth. And then you have one adult, one youth.
Do most people pay by the month?
Everyone usually pays by the month.
And do most of the programs charge an extra fee? Or are they
They're included with your membership.
They're included with your membership. That's pretty unique.
It's a very unique model.
Because most organizations like yours charge program fees.
Correct.
Right? I know when I was at the Boys and Girls Club, of course, we had a cheap membership fee, but if you want to play basketball, it was $10, or if you want to play whatever, it was something else. But you guys include it.
Yeah.
That's what makes it a pretty good deal.
So if you look at it, it's $145 for the month. That gives you access to swim lessons, skills and drills, which is sports programs, ballet, so arts, culinary, visual. It gives you access to all of the group exercise classes, and so much more with that. And that's for $145 a month. For your whole family, that would be 2 adults, multiple youth. And you figure that's going to the movies twice.
And how
for
many,
a family.
Yeah, that's going out to dinner, you know. How many members do you have?
We currently have, unit-wise, we have about 3,200. Membership-wise, we have like actual physical bodies, 5,700.
Wow, that sounds like a lot.
5,800.
So you have about 5,000 members at the Bremerton YMCA.
A little over 5,000. We have almost 6,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable with that?
Oh, no. We want more.
Oh, you want more?
Of course.
Can you handle more?
We can handle more. We can definitely handle more. We have the space. Because with a membership, not everyone shows up at the same time.
No, yeah.
Right? So we have the space. We just have to get creative with how we schedule.
Right. Is there a time during the year where you're more busy than others?
Oh, yeah. When the weather's bad outside, the Y gets busier.
Yeah.
Right?
So winter, people head to the Y,
yeah,
right?
fall, winter, early
Because
spring.
I'm a walker, and I walk every day.
Correct.
So I used to, in the winter, I'd go up to the Y and walk around the track, and it was great. But now I've gotten where I walk in the winter outside too.
Right, because what happened with COVID? You walked outside.
I walked outside, yeah.
And so everyone has adjusted. So people's workout styles have adjusted too.
Yeah.
Cardio is more apt to be done at home, working out outside, but they don't have the strength. They don't have the machines. They don't have the community.
Right.
And that's where the Y comes in.
The thing, when you go to the Y, you see people you know.
Correct.
And you chit chat and all that kind of thing.
Right.
So yeah, it's different walking around by yourself. The Y is now organized a little differently than it used to be when it was an independent Y, and it had its own board and its own executive director, and it was only answerable to
the board.
The board.
Right.
But now it's different. There's a corporate board that oversees all these. How many branches?
9.
9 branches. So you have a corporate board, but each branch also has a local board.
Advisory council.
They call it advisory council.
Correct.
Right. So let's talk about the advisory council.
Okay.
So what's their role? What do they do? Do they help raise money? All those kind of things.
So our advisory council is made up of individuals who are passionate about the Y, passionate about the community, and want to give back. And they help guide us as staff, as Y, to make sound decisions in the sense of how can they support us? How can they deepen our relationship, build bridges within the community? They're also fundraisers. They also raise money.
You have fundraising events?
We have an annual campaign, which is usually during the month of
So an annual campaign is when you mail out or whatever you do.
Or we do phone calls, or we ask personal asks, right? And say, hey, wondering if you would be willing to join us. This is what the Y does, and we're so much more than just a gym.
Well, you have banners.
We do.
In the Y where people who've made big contributions get their name on a banner, that sort of thing.
Right.
Yeah, having run the King County Boys and Girls Club, I've spent most of my life fundraising, right?
Sure, exactly.
A lot of fundraising.
Exactly.
So how many on your advisory board?
We currently have 14 people on our advisory council.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, so we have a good size of a council, of which your wife is actually part of our council.
My wife had just joined, and she loves being on the board.
Yes, and and it's at a unique season and unique time right now.
And I would say, from what I know of your board, you have a pretty strong board.
We have a very strong advisory council, and they're very passionate and they're bought in. And so we're in a really unique space right now to kind of pivot how we do our council meetings, how we meet monthly, and how they can help influence
Yep.
what we're doing.
Well, these are professional people.
Exactly.
And they want to be part of, they love the Y and they want to help the Y, but they want to be part of something that's professional.
They want to make a difference.
Yeah, they
right?
want to make a difference. That's right. So they need direction. They need, I've managed volunteers all my life, but volunteers need to know what they're supposed to do.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, they just can't make it up as they go.
Right.
So it's really important that there's clear direction and all this stuff. And, there's a set of responsibilities.
Yeah.
And when I was with the Boys and Girls Club with our board, I used to give them a questionnaire about what were they going to do for the Boys and Girls Club that year. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yep.
A commitment sheet, we call it. And they filled it out. And at the end of the year, I'd meet with every one of them and say, here's how you did on your commitment sheet. And most of them had kept track of it themselves, and they were on top of it.
Yep.
And hey, Bozeman, you missed this, or you missed that. Don't forget I did this. It's pretty effective.
And then bringing it with them too, right? So there is that conversation that happens with it.
So do you have an annual operating budget? What does it
Oh, my
cost you to
goodness.
run the Y?
Yeah, it costs us about $3 million.
$3 million?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that covers all your staff and paying the utility bills and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And if you have capital, like you've got to do something to the building or fix the pool because something broke down.
So the pool is unique. So the pool is with YMCA person or with
Pools are expensive.
the pool is expensive, but this pool is unique in the sense that it's a partnership with the city of Bremerton.
Right.
Right. So the building is actually owned by the city
I know.
for the pool.
Remember,
so
I was the mayor of this.
I get that.
I know.
But because of that, there's a lot of things that we go through the city for. If there's a problem with the pool, if the roof needs to be redone
You
or
talk
something.
to people at the Parks Department, or who do you talk to?
We talk to people with the Parks Department.
Okay. Well, the city should keep fulfilling its commitment to that
Correct.
pool. And that pool's an important community asset.
Yes.
And you guys are doing the day-to-day work.
We do the day-to-day.
And so the city needs to, this is my thought, needs to make sure that pool's in operating condition.
It's important for Bremerton to have a pool, right?
It is.
And to have a pool in their community. We do community days, so we do the first Saturday of every month.
Yeah.
Members from the community can come in for free.
Okay, we're running out of time, so I got
Okay.
a couple of questions.
Okay.
How do you have low-income families, I'm
Correct.
sure. Do you have a kind of scholarship programs or things for low-income?
We do. We offer financial assistance, so it's
Yeah.
based on your household income. And all you need to do is show us 2 monthly pay stubs or your award letters.
Mm-hmm.
And then based on that, we'll establish anywhere from 10 to 50% off of your membership.
Okay.
So, and that still gives you access to everything. So
Right.
just because you're on financial assistance doesn't mean that your accessibility is limited.
Good, good. Do you deal with the homeless at all? Do you have
We-
homeless people that want to be in the Y?
We do. So we do have a shower program in the morning.
Oh, a shower program.
Yeah, so
That's-
from 6 to 8 a.m. so that they're able to come in and take a shower. Now, if someone is homeless or is challenged as far as housing is concerned, then they're able to come in, and if they want to be a member of the Y, then we'll figure something out. We're not going to return anyone away because they don't have resources.
That's great. I love to hear that.
Right, and foster care is another
Are
one.
you seeing more homeless?
Yeah, for showers, we see a lot.
Do you?
Yeah, we see probably about 15 to 20 people come through.
Wow.
So,
Good for you guys for
You know,
doing that.
but it just creates a space, right? Just
Yeah.
because you're homeless doesn't mean that you're not a human,
Oh,
right? And
Yeah.
you get the right to take a shower. You have those rights, and it's like,
right.
but you may not have accessibility. You may not have a place that you can do that.
You get
The Y is
homeless
the place.
children?
Probably within our before and after school care, we do. But I think one of the unique things about the Y is, Cary, you could be homeless right now and you walk into the Y to work out. I won't know that.
Yeah.
I have no clue of your living situation unless you've chosen to share it.
Okay.
So we could have kids that are in shelters that are homeless.
Is there a lot of homeless teenagers?
Sure. We could have them as
Right.
part of our community.
Okay, this program's about leadership. You're a leader in this community.
Correct.
Do you have a leadership style or a leadership thing you believe in? How do you how do you lead your organization?
How do I lead? I lead alongside. I don't lead from the front.
Alongside,
I
okay?
lead from beside. And when I need to, I lead from the front, but I'll also lead from the back. I also believe that I don't have all the answers, but in the room, we probably have all the answers. So
Yeah,
if we can sit there and talk and have the conversation and
right,
look at it from different angles and poke the balloons, right? Poke the
right,
holes in the bubbles and sit there and you'll come up with a better product.
right.
But more, it's about collaboration and it's about working alongside and bringing out the best in your staff
Mm-hmm.
and meeting your staff where they're at and recognizing everyone's human and leading with grace.
Well said. Is there anything I haven't asked you about the why you'd like to share real quickly?
No, I would just say that the Y is a place where everyone belongs and creates a platform for, regardless of who you are, for you to find community and that we're more than a swim and gym and that we're more than a before and after school program.
Yeah, I agree with all that.
We're a community.
Well, you're a longtime committed
Yes.
civil servant. You've been in this business a long time. I'm sure you've impacted a lot of lives. And it's been my pleasure to interview you and to have this conversation with you.
Well, thank you. It was my pleasure.
You're welcome. So we'll see you next time on another conversation with another community leader.